So continuing our series on how to make everything, today we're going to be trying Dr. Pepper. So before we get into our ingredients, let's just give it a little try. Okay, tastes like Dr. Pepper. Vanilla-y, sugary, bubbly, a tiny bit of cherry maybe. So with all that being said, we've got to start somewhere with our 23 flavours, and we'll start with orange and lemon peel. So as we're cutting our orange peel into our pestle and mortar, we're just being quite careful to get as little pith as possible, which will make this quite bitter. Next in goes our cinnamon stick, whole nutmeg. We'll get a couple pieces of ginger in, juniper berries, couple slices of plum, some barley, couple raspberries, dried cherry, few dried prunes, cherry tomato. Almost ready to start cooking, we'll add some carrot, a little bit of licorice root. We can't forget the pepper since it's Dr. Pepper, so we'll get a few slices of that in. Finally, give everything a good crush. So if we give this a little smell now, we're definitely on the right way. It's starting to smell more and more like Dr. Pepper. So for our next step, we need to melt some coconut oil. So let's get it into our pan. So while this melts down, let's just have a look at the side of the bottle here. And we can see that it does say 23 flavors. Now, I found these ingredients on a website where I guess people have given their best guess as to what the flavors actually are. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. So we'll just pour this into here now. Just give this a little stir as well. So let's strain off our infused oil. And you can see it looks brilliant. So we're going to emulsify this with some ethanol in the form of amaretto. So I'll drop some in. Also add in some rum. As I've said when we've used ethanol before, this is essentially like using vanilla extract. This too also contains some ethanol, but it burns off in our next step. So I'll add some of this too. Now I wish you could smell this, because it smells exactly like Dr. Pepper. This is kind of mind-blowing. So for our next step, we need to make a caramelized sugar. So let's put some sugar into there. And into that we'll add a drop of water. And for flavouring, half a teaspoon of molasses. And while this turns into a syrup, we'll slowly add our flavouring. So we just got this off the stove. Let's pour into our bottle. Look at that. So our syrup has just about cooled down. So let's get some sparkling water in here. Just add a touch of citric acid. And now we add in our flavouring. Look at that. And finally, we just add a little bit of colour to match the original stuff here. So let's see. So if we have a look at the two, I've got to say that's pretty damn close if you ask me. And that smells, it smells very similar. With that being said, let's just give it a try and see how close it is. Oh, that's so weird. So it's not quite exactly the same. Obviously, Dr. Pepper's going to be the only one to really know those secrets. That being said, it's pretty damn close. I'm going to have to give that a 7.4 out of 10 in terms of closeness. It's really good. Comment what we should try next. Very cool. Yum, yum.